Hello, and a very good day to all. This is one of the more difficult Bible contradictions to refute. In Mark, the verse said, "Take nothing for the journey except a staff, no bread, no bag, no money in your belts. Wear sandals, but not an extra tunic." In Matthew, the verse said, "No bag for the journey, or extra shirt or sandals or a staff." In Luke, he said, "Take nothing for the journey, no staff, no bag." There are actually two main contradictions here. Most people would normally know about the staff contradiction. The other one that people normally missed is in regard to the sandal. Here is a color-coded table that summarizes the items that the disciples were supposed to take for their journey. As you can see, Matthew and Luke contradicted Mark on the staff, while Matthew contradicted Mark on the sandals. From plain reading with context, this looks like a straight-up contradiction. So, how does Christian apologists try to reconcile this contradiction? Argument number 1. Mark used the Greek word arrow, which is a general word of to take, whereas Matthew used kitaome, which normally means to acquire. Mark is noting that they do not need to heavily prepare. Take only what they have with them. Matthew does not want his people to make excessive preparation. Luke also uses the word arrow. Truthfully, this argument does not really help to solve any contradiction problem. Even though different words were used in the form of arrow and kitaome, the general meaning of the text still does not change. If the argument is to acquire means to purchase or obtain a staff, then it is still a contradiction. Here is different version of Mark narratives in KJV, NIV, ESV, and NRSV. In all of them, the meaning stays the same. Here are the Matthew narratives. The general story is the same, but there is an additional contradiction. In KJV, the word staves, which is the plural of staff, was used. It is also the same thing with Luke narratives. Staves was used in KJV, but staff was used for the other versions, but the narratives stay the same. NRSV is the Bible that Christian scholars normally used for their academic work. KJV, NIV, and ESV are among the top 5 Bibles among Christian. Hence, the contradiction is still there. Christian apologists also tend to argue that even though Mark and Luke both use the word arrow, but they are using it in a different manner. Luke uses it in a similar manner to kitaome, or acquire. However, when we read the verse, Mark uses it in a positive way, and Luke uses it in the opposite way, or take nothing for the journey. It cannot be more contradictory than that. To be honest, the argument is not very convincing because the different meaning still does not resolve the contradiction. Words have meaning. If to take means to not take, then words will lose all meaning. For example, for the word sure, it can be used to signal affirmation or acknowledgement. But to say that to take and not to acquire is not contradictory is outrageous and confusing to say the least. After all, this is supposed to be a retelling of the same event. But all 3 authors have different narratives. All of them cannot be true at the same time. Only one of them can be true, or all of them are incorrect. In a court case, if there are 3 witnesses and all of them give conflicting accounts on many fronts, it can create a reasonable doubt to the case. In fact, there are many cases that were dropped or unsuccessful due to conflicting witness testimony. When testimony of witnesses is contradictory, it is a sign that their testimony are not reliable and doubts can be raised on the veracity of their claims. Maybe their memory is not very good. Maybe they only take it from a second-hand source. Maybe they did not really witness what really happened. Maybe they are writing this with their own interpretation and biases. If a court of law does not accept contradictory witness statement, the bar for a book of God should be higher than that. In conclusion, this is a contradiction through and through. Let me know what you think about this. Subscribe and see you on the next video.